pints of Guinness at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Beautiful.
With my Alpha colleagues, you know.
Cheers, lads.
It feels like an airport beer, doesn't it?
It feels like an airport beer, yeah.
When we started this Pips and Pints, it did start in the afternoon, but obviously trying to find venues in London on a Friday, because we can't, it's too busy midweek, and we say, oh yeah, can we hire this out at 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon? They're like, no.
Yeah, but when you think about it, what we've been up and running, got to be the best part of 3 years now.
Yeah, we're over 3 years now.
Touchwood, been very successful up until now. I do think we should be able to book somewhere in the afternoon to drink a pint as opposed to the morning.
Or we'll just change it to Pips and water, or something, Pips and coffee.
Pips and drips.
Pips and drips.
Shall we kick off with the year so far? 2025, how we've started?
It's been a good start to the year. I mean, before we even get onto that, the December, we could probably quickly, good to wrap up the December giveaway.
The December giveaway. So this is the second year in a row we've done it. And I've said this before many a time, right? We didn't have to do it the year before last, which is 2023, which we gave away 75,000 free accounts, which was overwhelming because no one expected that.
And also the way we did, for us operationally, the way we gave them away was a bit of a nightmare.
It was a nightmare. And you were getting engaged in the Seychelles or wherever you were, in the Maldives. All went wrong, tech issues, terrible.
It wasn't the best timing.
But we did give the 75,000 accounts away. So we had some teething issues. We gave the 75,000 accounts away and there were some phenomenal success stories, you know. Yeah. And I think it goes to show a lot of our audience or a lot of our clients, they don't need a free 5K evaluation. No. You know, they don't. However, we didn't do it for that. We did it for those that, and you see so many of them on Twitter that want to be, or X now, sorry Elon, but you know, you see so many of these people that they want to trade, they're phenomenal at these trading competitions, the free competition that we do, but they just don't have the capital for whatever reason to go and buy an evaluation. So we did that. And we saw some phenomenal success stories, which, you know...
This is what I was going to ask you. So there's 50,000 free accounts given away.
That was this year. The year before we did 75.
Obviously the 75, we weren't quite prepared for that, sort of back office wise, but you learn from your mistakes. So this time around, obviously we did the 50,000 accounts. And what I was going to ask you, out of those 50,000 accounts, any good success stories? Anybody been?
There was, but what I loved about this year is we did it slightly differently. So
the pay it forward.
We did a pay it forward campaign, which was allowing people to purchase an account, and rather than keep the 5K for themselves, we're allowed to gift it to others. Now we've got a massive Discord, like 103,000 strong, and a lot of the people in that Discord, you know, they need accounts, they need evaluations, and they look at doing competitions. And we saw a lot of our key players that I know that trade with Alpha giving evaluations away, buying 2 or 3 evaluations.
And you see it on X, like the give, and we do them, and we partner with other people to do, you know, give away 5 accounts, give away 10 accounts, and the amount of people that participate and only 5 people win it, and you know, there's 20, 30 a month or something. There's out of hundreds of thousands of people that trade, there's only 20, 30 that give away. So I think that's why it's good. We'll probably do it again next year, and that's why we've done it for the past 2 years, to just give back to our loyal community. They've supported us for a whole 12 months. They've stuck with us. They've given us their support. They've, you know, entrusted us that we want to be their venue that they want to partner with, and I think it's good to give back. You know.
But have you seen an example where somebody's paid it forward to somebody else and they've got something from it? I suppose is my question.
So you see it a lot on Twitter, people that have been paid out from the giveaway. What I really find interesting from last year, especially, is you see people 6 months later still getting paid out from that 5K. But this year so far...
Well, there was a guy that was about 8 months. He had, from the last year's, he had it for 8 months, and he got his first payout 8 months later. So the discipline, though, to hold a 5K for 8 months.
Well, it proves how much it means to these people.
And not to just get the ump and...
I was going to say...
But this was a guy from the 75K giveaway.
For last year.
Wow, that's incredible.
Because you'd think everyone would punt it, wouldn't you? But actually...
Yeah, you'd think, you'd get...
That man's done his time, hasn't
he? Sure, but it's hats off to him. That's what we want to see.
But that goes to show how much it means to some people, that 5K, that one little 5K account. Yes. People nurturing that for 8 months. But to answer your question, yes, we've seen some success stories. We're starting to get that at the moment, people getting paid out from them free 5Ks. But I think ask the question to me on our next Pips and Pints in a couple of months, because that's going to be interesting.
That's when because it's still
but I have had
2-3 weeks.
I've had WhatsApps. Alex, thanks so much for doing this giveaway. It's really changed my life. It's done this, that, which is great. And again, you know, I have to make this point. That giveaway The first one I think cost us about $750,000. This one will probably do similar, but we don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Like there's not any other firms out there. That are taking that side of initiative to give people and for us to give back, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, I mean, we was the first ones to do it last year, and
people have teased with the idea we're going to do the same, but none of you have done it yet. None of you.
But a couple. But regardless of that giveaway is not necessarily trying to be a competitive edge. Like from us to our community, it genuinely is a thank you.
Yeah,
and
I like to think it's just every year when we all got together, for me joining, and you were telling me that these things will matter to people, and it really does. Like all you ever see on a lot of the social media is the big success stories and everyone bigging it up. But it's like you've just said,
and it's not
little
always
people
that,
being able to build themselves up.
Yep.
It's a life-changing thing.
Relatable
It's
as well.
material
I mean,
money.
Of course it is. Yeah.
There's a lot of success stories where someone's made 10, 20, 30, 40,000, but like how many people a month is that out of, say there's 100 or 200,000 people, there's maybe 10 or 20 or 30. So it's a very small percentage, but what's a more relatable success story, and which we'll bring out in some kind of upcoming YouTube series, is just people that have just been disciplined in passing their evaluation. It doesn't have to be that trader X made 50,000. Just trader X stayed disciplined for 3 months. This is how they've finally, passed their assessment.
And from the plans we've got, that's what we want, isn't it? Disciplined guys that are going to build up.
That's why we offer the lower value plans, because people kind of want to use that as a tester. You were talking about the guy who's had the account for 8 months from the previous giveaway and only just starting to get paid out.
He could end up being a really good trader.
Well, there you go. Yeah, if he's had that discipline for that longer period of time, he now may feel confident to go and buy a 100k account and treat it correctly.
And if you carry that discipline across, that will make a massive difference.
But I think that goes to the point where that was a great thing we did in 2023. We did it in 2024, but 2024 wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. No. I mean, one thing that we found out, as much as we've got a caring nature to the prop firm, to our clients, we appreciate them and respect them. We also got taken advantage of, and we learned so much throughout that year of 2024 by all of these, and everyone knows them, the trades pop, all of these cheaters, the group traders, the pay to pass a challenge, and we had to really step our levels up last year and change ourselves operationally.
And with that, the market's, it's a new market, call it 3 years old, 5 years old. 5 years ago there was a handful, 3 years ago there was 10 or 20. Now there's 100 plus, but it's a new market. And while I'm on that point, there's not 10 years of how to do it, and big companies and success stories like we're innovating in this industry. So this, as we grow, what that also means is that there's the client market's growing significantly, and they're figuring out ways in which they can gamify and take advantage. And each year they're getting more and more understanding, and they're finding new ways. And as a
more and more clever.
More and more clever, yeah. And but it's with any industry, from any company, any service.
The Wolf of Hounslow, remember him? He was bidding up bidding the market.
But his mum's bidding the market now.
When you see our journey, it's 2023. I think was just pure excitement. We proved our concept in 2023. 2024, like you say, big learning curve. Not all bad, but like you say, not
operationally,
not all sunshine and rainbows. 2025, I'd like to think that we've learned from some mistakes of the previous year, and we're set up quite nicely. So there's a guy who I use as a bit of a mentor, and he said one thing to me one time, and it rings true. He said, running a business is like waking up every morning waiting to get punched in the face. It is though. Yeah, and you almost get a little bit nervous when things are going too smoothly. Do you understand what I mean by this now? And you guys have had this experience now over the last 2 or 3 years of being at the helm, and when things are a little bit too smooth, something's always coming.
But you also, when like as an owner of the business, and like all of us, the day-to-day stuff, we're not going to spend our time on all the things that are going well and have a nice day and focus, because if there's something that needs attention, or that we need to improve, or we need to grow, or we need to fix this, add this tech, start this, etc., all of our time is spent.
But you know what I love about that though, right? And it's fantastic, because you see all these like influencer firms popping up. You saw them come and go. There's a few of us, I'd say 5 prop firms, ourselves included, that have gone through some stuff, done the test of time, improved our operations, brung in people, brung in systems, brung in different LPs. people think that that primitive year, that first year, was again excitement, revenue, things are going great, which a lot of these new prop firms will be experiencing that. Thinking this is easy, but it's not. It's very hard to run a prop.
I don't think it's easy anymore now launching a firm. If you launched in 2022, or if you launched in 2023, almost, could call it a golden era. There was 2023. There was not a single firm that had ever had an issue at all.
Well, on that note, if we're talking historically, since inception to where we are now, what would you say that we're at in total payouts?
We're fast approaching $100 million in lifetime payouts. Within the next couple of months, 2-3 months, we'll cross that figure, which is
in anyone's book, that's significant.
It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's like when we started this, you dream of these, you have these huge goals and aspirations, but when you then start to approach them, you're like, Jesus, like $100 million to paid out to everyone watching this. Yeah, it's. But it's also we have to put the product, the service, the infrastructure around to support it. But then it's a testament to the people that come and trade, use our services and work with us, and the actual ability that people have. And there really are some incredible success stories and some incredibly disciplined and consistent traders out there, or what we call analysts with us. That it's a pleasure to work.
And I think that goes back to the point of 2024. Was a structure, a restructure, new systems, new people in management in the background, new LPs, liquidity providers, this, that, and the other. And we're now in a phenomenal position where 2025, obviously last year we launched futures as well, which we'll talk about. But 2025 is a new age for Alpha to create new products, to add some new add-ons. When we first launched a business, we were right on the front foot. Front end stuff, marketing, great stuff, new add-ons, new stuff introduced to the traders. Then we took a back step, solidified everything that we were doing, built that foundation, which is unbreakable at the moment. And then we've now stepped into 2025 with new products, new things that we're going to be doing.
Is now we have 3 years of data from over 300,000 traders that have been with us for over the past 3 years, which means we have 300,000 traders, millions of trades that we can now analyze against our plans. And we now have the systems and the quants, the coders, to be able to go back and look at what is the most optimal, not just for us, but for the traders. And the first year when you start, you haven't got all of that. So it's on assumptions from what you see working from bigger companies. And now we're in a period, we've gone through that period where we can move away from assumptions and start going a lot more analytics based on how we approach everything. So there's no, we know our known outcomes.
And you mentioned there new products for this year. This could be a good opportunity just to elaborate on what you mean by that and maybe explain it in layman's terms and use this as an opportunity.
So we added the 1-step and the 3-step programs last year, end of last year, which was great. And I must say, and I've said this before in the Discord, yes, 1-step, have the trailing drawdown, so on and so forth. It's an easier evaluation to pass if you're being choosy with your trades. But I've seen some great results on that. And
on the 1-step.
Yeah, and I'm not judging. We talked about, I did something earlier in a content thing, which I said, you're either trading or you're a trader, yeah? Trading being someone that loves a bit of a punt. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Nothing wrong. We're a platform. If someone wants to come and just do a bit of trading, then that's fair play. If someone wants to come and sit down and be a trader and take it professionally, great. But what I've seen with the trading aspect and then 1-steps, is people have nicked a good bit of...
What, off the back of a Hail Mary?
Yeah, on 1-step, a couple of Hail Marys, but just a couple of decisive trades where they've gone, right, I want to put that on there, and bang, they've done well. And they might not be the most consistent trader.
But what are you saying? Are you saying they will come in with one idea for one trade,
a couple of ideas.
On,
a couple of ideas.
It
might be based around a certain event, or might be based around a certain currency pair, might be based
this
around...
is the way I would do it.
Yeah, around Davos or Trump's speech or whatever.
Take a view.
Yeah, of course, take a view, 1-step, take a view, stick to it.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And just ride the trend. Trend is your friend, until it turns. And I personally think, from what I've seen, is to ride that trend, 1-steps can be the best at that, if you're not great at passing 2-steps. Because you just got to get a couple of trades right, you're past, you're funded, and you can go.
If you've got the balls to run a winner, because how many times have you set a trade up, Planty, you'll know all about this, you set a trade up, it goes exactly how you planned it, but you snatch it out too early, right?
You see it keep going and hits your TP.
I had one the other week, I've got all the pattern, we've been following it for weeks, we've got the trend, I talked about it on the Discord live the other day. Circled, the thing was perfect, it's come off the trend line, it's retested, I'm in. it's gone through the roof. I've gone off to do something. We've put in a new load that we didn't expect on a wick. Stopped me out. I've come back an hour later and it's up where I thought it was. You know, it's like I want to kick the
But
screen.
again,
you know,
even if that happens,
I didn't know you can get your leg that high though.
but even with the one steps, if you've got a certain, like what I'm saying is, if you've got a certain view on something, all right, you might get wicked out. But if you need, let's say you've lost that valuation or you've lost that funded account. If you've lost the evaluation, well, you can go back in because your viewpoint hasn't changed, but you only have to pass that one step.
Yeah.
Rather than passing the one step, the viewpoint hasn't changed, now we're going to do another two step. You know what I mean? So sometimes with the one steps, it can be easier route to market for those that want to do a bit of trading, as opposed to the long-term traders. That's my opinion. That's what I've seen. But we've obviously got that now which is going live for US traders, because at first it was only 1 steps and 3 steps for the rest of the world, but now the US will be having 1 steps and 3 steps. That's that. So the next big thing for this year, which has been a long while in the making, is, and again, if you're a business owner, you've got to think about practicalities. You've got to think about looking at what's went wrong in the marketplace before, like we did with the regulated broker when we launched ACG markets. What could happen in the future? If you stay stagnant, you're not growing, you're going to end up in trouble. Yeah? That's a fact, right? So one thing we saw when we did the regulated broker, we saw things happening. People will remember in the broker space, people were getting kicked off the platform because they were using another regulated broker. So we regulated that broker, we've done it. The next most obvious thing to us was simple. We've got a regulated broker. We're going to be adding new regulations to that broker in time. The next thing to do was what? To build our own trading platform with TradingView. That's the most obvious. Why other prop firms aren't doing it, I don't know, because it's not hard.
I mean, you say it's not hard. To build the technology of the trading platform is a difficult build.
If you're a big prop firm and you've got money,
if you've got the cash,
should be a goal.
It should be a goal.
Yeah, it should be in the. I'm sure there's probably multiple firms that are. I'd say, like we said at the start, the market's maybe 100 plus. I'd boil it down to 10, maybe 5.
Proper firms.
Yeah, between 5 to 10.
But I'd say 5.
So from everything that you've already said, you can't underestimate the trust from the market and the longevity of success, because this time last year people were questioning the viability of the model, weren't they? And people, have you got the funding, blah, blah.
Yeah, see,
we've now got the
do you want to
data
go
and the
with
funding.
a marketing firm, or a firm? And I think the difference is the infrastructure that they have.
It's the understanding of it.
But like to further progress, our business and our infrastructure and is Alpha Trader. And Alpha Trader as our
TradingView
will have
focused.
Licenses with full TradingView charts, analytics, the TradingView library, TradingView execution panel, and then we've built a whole custom platform around the TradingView charts.
Just based a little bit on like the Alpha Ticks future side, or is it even better than that?
Similar, but this is our complete our own in-house unique spin on it. So we've added a bunch of analytics to it. We've added trading journals, we've added trade replays, we've added everything that we can see in the market that we like, everything that we know that our traders like in the Alpha Capital dashboard with your metrics, your account analysis, your account insights.
It looks
We've put it all into one place. Then with everyone's favourite charting platform, TradingView charts, you use those. It's the most popular.
Like Alex said, it's just important that we don't sit still, right? We appreciate the volume that we've got coming in and our customers, but you've always got to improve and develop and keep spending money on.
Once we have the trading platform, we have in-house every element of
Regulated broker, trading platform.
There's no third party. There's no reliance on a third party to change their mind and screw us without our say so, without our we can control our own destiny, our own fate at that point, without an external factor, whether we like it or not, having an impact on it.
So I think like this time last year, people thought we were paying lip service to this, and it was a load of nonsense, and we're just saying it for the sake of it. But it's proven, hasn't it, over this year, just how important that's been.
Build,
It just takes time to execute.
It takes time to execute, and it's a lot. It's a while. There's a few projects that we've been building for almost a
Maybe
year.
they should bring me in as head of technology just to try and speed things up a little bit.
I'm pretty sure I've had to help you turn on the
How do I log in, George?
Red button.
How do I log out and log into this? But the Alpha Trader, I'm really excited for it, and it will be soon. I won't put a date out there because people will hold us to it, and I might miss it or we might miss it. But it is soon. few months. There'll be a beta version where we'll probably get 50 people, 100 people to test it for a week or two, get their feedback. So keep an eye out for that in the next month or two.
So that's exciting. So then we've got all the new products, 1 step, 3 steps, the Alpha X plans, all that kind of stuff.
Plans that we have, there's no more.
90% payout option, on-demand payouts.
And we've kind of, I think, reached a point of, reached a limit of. You don't want to overdo it with 25 that's too much, it's confusing, you don't need all of those. Like for a long period of time we was a strong believer in just one plan. Obviously the market shifted and we shift as the market shifts and the sentiment moves and what people like and dislike, and we accommodate that. But I think, like you said, we're at a point now where we have all the plans to accommodate every type of trader or analyst to come to us. And
like I say, the people that want to trade or people that want to be traders, we've got the 2 options.
You have 1 steps, 2 steps, 3 steps, and then the X plan, which is a variation of 1 steps and 2 steps, but a cheaper entry price, consistency rules, lower profit targets, slightly tighter drawdowns. And each plan will have benefits. Someone might completely dislike the X plan and the 1 step and love the 2 step. Someone might dislike the 2 and 3 step and love the 1 and X. So listen, if you don't like one plan, if you don't like one of those 4 plans, no problems. If you like another one, that's fine. They're there to accommodate different types of traders.
You were right last year that there was this obsession in the market for discounting and people giving it away, and that eventually showed how weak your hand was. That to me seems to disappear. I'm getting so few people asking for discounts all the time now. It's literally, now it's all about the quality of the product.
The type of plan that they are looking for, right?
Yeah.
Rather than, can you give me a 40% rip off this account?
It's like now you actually bothered about the detail.
Yeah, of course.
Which is important.
And I think 2024 was a year of maturity for the industry.
Yeah,
2022 was new and fresh. 2023 was excitement, discounts, everything was sunshine and rainbows. 2024, there was firms that collapsed, there was firms that were mismanaged, there was firms that popped up and disappeared.
But we said that. I think you're right with 2024, and you could see it happening in late 23, that you just knew that there was going to be consolidation in this space. You knew it because everything was too good. Everything was too good. All the marketing, all the advertising, everything you saw, all these different prop firms coming up. And that always spells to, right, this is going to consolidate. Yeah. So you need to stick in there with a pack.
I do think as well that does benefit. I know there was some traders, unfortunately, and we never like to see it, that was involved in firm A, which was whatever happened to that company, they're then no longer there, and trader A is affected, which is never nice to see. But in the long term, it's the benefit, like you say, of the consolidation of the industry, the maturity of the industry benefits the end consumer, because it means that when they do make the right decision and pick the right company to work with, as long as that company is making the right decisions, it's going to be it's going to be a long-term relationship, and they're going to benefit in the future. Whereas if we never had that year of maturity, it could have been another, you never know what could have happened last year. If it was just all sunshine, it could have got even worse this year,
But I think, like you say, it's a lot harder to launch a firm because people have been through that. But it's, and also a lot of these people that launch them, they'll never be able to run it when it gets to a certain level anyway. But number 2.
Well, I think it's you can define them as, some firms are, marketing firms, and they use a lot of white label stuff, which is, nothing wrong with it, nothing against it. But there's, as a consumer, you just got to be aware of what you're buying and why you're buying it.
This goes to the point where eventually you'll have to have some sort of regulated broker, and you'll have to have your own tech, which is a given, and you'll have to have your own platform.
It's like in the futures markets, which we'll move on to Alpha Futures, but in the futures markets, the sentiment now is that you have to have a path to live, which is important, because at the end of the day, like, what are we doing? What is the product? What is the service? The addition of the path to live, it really does solidify the offering.
Well, on that note, it's probably worth explaining what we're looking to do there as well, which is something that nobody has done this, I can assure you. Yeah.
I think this is, I mean they can, but this is probably the most exciting project that I think we've launched since we started. Obviously Alpha Capital was the baby, but I think this is the most exciting project, and it's the most logical next step, and I think it will really solidify us for where we head 2025 and beyond.
So without giving too much away, because I think that's going to be our next.
We'll have it, in a couple of weeks. We'll do a whole.
We've done a lot of research over the past 12 months, through Drew's contacts as well in the City of London, we want to build something for Alpha Cap and Alpha Futures, which is a path to live. So whereby people can come and work for us, either externally or internally, with salaries and live capital.
May I just establish one thing? Our live capital. So we are not going to be accepting any client deposits onto the fund.
Our live capital, salaries. So many people out there, and I think this.
Well, if it's like what do we do? Once you find those incredibly successful traders, analysts, you know, there's maybe a dime a dozen, maybe 10 out of every 200-300, but there's still 10 incredible traders that you do see in your assessments and in your qualified accounts. It's okay. So what's the next step? Do they just stay there forever and there's no additional progression? Well, this is that additional progression, isn't it? Where we.
But also progression, like talent. Unfortunately, in the City of London, probably New York, America is the same in the finance arena. You know, you're not just going to go and work for an investment bank or a big prop house just by being talented online in your mum and dad's bedroom, because you won't be found. And also, you'll have to be on a red brick university of something like that. I mean, apart from like Gary Stevens, who's done really well in the UK, he went through Citibank's game program, got it. But rather than being that 1 in a billion, you know, we're going to give an opportunity where you can come and work for us if you're very good at what you want to do. If you want to, we can even offer a relocation package to London to sit on the trading floor in London, to be salaried and to be paid.
To recap, it's what we'll be launching soon is a live trading floor. It's a separate company to Alpha Capital Group and to Alpha Futures. It'll be a live trading floor. It'll be real cash, our capital, company capital. People will be offered salaries to come and work as analysts, live traders. Just the tradition before the retail prop market was a thing for, you know, in the last 5 years. Before that, there was the traditional prop trading houses, you know, which still exists today, and they're, you know, huge institutions and companies. But the difference for us and how we're going to approach this is that where do we find, forget Alpha Capital Group, let's say we was just going to set up a traditional prop firm, right? In London, okay, who we're going to hire, how are we going to find these traders, how are we going to find the best traders around the world to come and trade for us?
So it's a path to live both ways, isn't it?
Yeah. And this is it, right? So you've got Alpha Capital Group, Alpha Futures. We've got hundreds of thousands of traders in 100 plus countries. We have the pick of the crop, you know. We can find the best traders across the globe, cherry pick those guys, move them over to our live trading floor. Like I said, we can offer salaries. So you've got a 12-month salary, a contract to trade with us for.
And also, we found through yourself the man to run it.
Well, this is what I was going to mention. Without naming any names, you need somebody to head an office up like that. It can't be you. You're busy with a day-to-day business. You're busy.
I'm spark out.
There's too much going on there. But what we have got is we have got a guy with 30 plus years worth of experience of prop trading. Worked back on life floor many moons ago. I think, Planter, you done a bit on life as well, didn't you? So the guy's been around the block, but still relatively young, still very active in the prop trading space.
He's a prop trader now, works for a firm, big firm.
For the older generation that might watch this, I don't know sort of how much.
You'll be surprised.
It's a very, very similar model to the Mac Futures and the Refcos that we're looking to replicate with a few slight tweaks. Is probably
I think
the
our
best
tweaks is like, who do we bring into it? You know, if you look at Mac Futures, how did they get the traders onto the floor? It was, you know, interview processes.
But often you have to put quite a bit of money in, so that will take away that angst for people.
Whereas for us,
now we've got a tracker, we've got all the data. We want this guy. How much are you going to pay me? We pay you this.
And this is why I say it's like the next logical step. It's the most logical progression for us as a company or a group of companies to take it to the next step or the next level.
And look, a rough timeline for that, if we're going to give, I don't mind a sort of gun to the head moment there, but maybe April. Early April is when we start that.
What I can say is we've signed the office.
We've got a brand new office.
Next to Cannon Street.
And you'll see, we're going to do a whole, should we do a whole video on that maybe?
We're going to do a whole video
on that. We'll do a whole video, so that's very, very soon. So March, we move in.
And then London's going to be our trial. That's where we're going to build it. And then the next stop will be, because of Alpha Futures, will probably be a floor in New York. as well.
I thought he was going to say Newcastle.
We do have an office in Newcastle.
But whilst we're on the point of futures, it's probably a good idea to sort of highlight how that's progressed. Obviously, that was something that was brand new to us in 24, and I've been delighted with that growth. I mean,
Fantastic.
It's been, and do you know what? We stuck to our guns on the way we launched Alpha Capital. If you go back to 2021, 2022, we didn't come out the gates and do everything to go, get every single client and attract everyone and do something silly. We took our time, we built the foundations, and then we grew from that. And we've done, although we have the benefit of Alpha Capital Group and the name and the brand and the client awareness, etc., we still took the same steady approach in Alpha Futures. We didn't go crazy with some crazy rules, crazy plans. We took something consistent, something steady, a good, appealing, attractive offering, of course, but we took our time to find our feet and foundations in the future space. We've got those, and we've seen incredible growth.
we've done a similar thing with that we did with Cap. We've proven the concept month on month. This is building month on month, steady pace, right? But if you can see this, then you can always just scale it. On the futures, just on the community, what would you say that the geographical breakdown is for our customers coming into us for Alpha Futures? Yeah,
I'd say it's 50, 60 US, 30, 40 UK, 10 rest of the world.
See, what surprises me there, Planty, I don't know if you agree, that we've got 30, 40% coming in from the UK with futures. That's actually a higher number than I...
Because you've got this inherent still...
30-ish%.
Yeah, we've got this battle still inherently of everyone panics when you say futures.
Yeah.
When in fact, if you actually looked at it, it's
there's a lot,
beneficial to
there's
you.
more
It's
futures
so
traders
controlled.
in the UK than I actually
Than you thought initially, yeah.
It really is. I mean, we obviously have a very, strong standing in the UK. It's where we are. We're known, and obviously US is the main target demographic alongside the UK, of course. But futures in the US is like FX in the UK. If you grow up trading in the US, you hear about futures.
Yeah.
You grow up here, you don't hear about futures.
No,
So
but
you have to almost seek it out in the UK.
That's
as
hence the
opposed
reason
to-
why I'm surprised
Yeah,
it's
as to
such
almost
high demand.
see it.
I think in terms of our development in that area, I think you can't underplay the impact of Ben. Absolutely fantastic.
Ben's been phenomenal.
But for people to have trust in the whole thing, we've got a guy who his whole life was being in that environment.
Yeah, but they're not going to trust a Geordie and two Essex boys, are they? You need to. we have to have an American in there somewhere. We have to wedge one in somewhere.
But the fact that he paid his college debt off, when the college, that's the American dream, right? It's the American dream.
He's very good though. You are right. He's done really well.
He's done phenomenal, and the COO of Alpha Futures is on the day-to-day operations. And the reason why I think he's excelling so well is he is like we've just said, that he is the success. He was the client, he was the consumer, he was an educator of.
And he's brought all the best bits without us losing profitability or viability of the model, which is fantastic. Which itself is amazing.
He's excelling so well because he hasn't got HFT traders telling them he's going to roll up on them and shoot them. There's been a lot of success with futures as well.
That's what I was just about to ask. I mean, have we got?
Yeah, we discussed this on our. If you look, if anyone's gets a chance to watch the last sit down we had with Ben, round table on the YouTube channel, like we've seen some really great traders coming through, and not just US, by the way. We're starting to see some really good UK guys coming through as well. They had a message last night on Discord from a guy. He's done really well. He lost his account, but he's done really well, so he's restarted again. He's made some good profits. They like it a lot better. Like I say, you've got two options. I'll say it again, and this has been like the word of the day. You're either there to do a bit of trading, or you're there to become a trader. And I think with the futures, we're looking for traders, obviously, and that's going to give you that opportunity to potentially work directly for us if you want to, remotely or internally, salaried stuff like that. But you're there to become a trader, and that's going to be your life, and that's going to be where you are, or you're there to do a bit of trading. But
like I don't want to offend people that are. I don't want to offend any of our clients or current customers.
So that basically means he's going to offend
But sometimes, right, it's the truth, right? How seriously are you taking it? How seriously do you want it? Do you want to be a professional trader? Do you want to be a professional analyst? If you walked into an institution, a live prop fund, a bank, or whatever it is that these traditional companies that have been around since 10, 20 decades, right? Would you walk in and have the same mindset and approach that you're treating the assessments with us? If the answer is no, then why not? Why are you treat this is an opportunity that you have to become an analyst, to earn a living, to earn an incredible amount of money from the market, to now progress to a live trading floor with salaries. It's an incredible opportunity.
It's like you said earlier, it's millions to one to get into an institution.
Well, it is, but on that
accessible.
note, if you're starting from scratch, is there nothing we can do in terms of like an education package? And I'm not talking advisory, calling the shots, or making any trade suggestions, but some sort of education package.
We've teased of like the Alpha Academy, and we've ummed and ahed, do we do it, do we not do it? We don't want to get into a way in which we give out a specific strategy. Yep. People follow that, and some make, some don't.
Very fine line.
It's a fine line.
Very
but agreed, I do think we will bring out some form of, just free. It won't be charged. It'll be completely free.
They're going to sell courses. No,
we're not selling. It'll be free
of charge.
Ideally, planting.
Yeah, it's opening your mindset to these things. It's a way of thinking.
Well, it's just just a helping hand, like
the basics. Give them the basics, an intro. You could have a beginner, intermediate package, all different packages that you could provide. But like I say, it's a fine line. We're not looking to send signals, sell education packages. But as we grow and develop, like we've banged on about now for the last half an hour, that could be a nice bolt-on that we could just add.
I think trading's a good skill set. Like even just haven't been.
It's an incredible skill set. Like we have, you have certain traders, analysts with us that they do well and they move abroad, and we know quite a lot of guys that have moved abroad. Trading, that's almost the Instagrammable lifestyle, which again we don't want to necessarily promote. None of us live that kind of lifestyle at all.
Well, the elephant in the room for people is to be successful at this, it's a small percentage of people. The majority of people lose in trading, and that's professional and retail.
It's since the dawn of the day.
The top 10% of traders just
never
don't live like that. They're very.
But
you don't even know
so you
about
have to have a process.
But
true.
That is true. But with us, right? If you look at why is what we offer attractive and appealing, and why is the industry doing so well in such a short period of time? It's because there's no risk attached to the clients. We charge a one-time subscription fee. It's for the analytics, the educational services that we offer. And we bring you guys on as analysts, and we offer performance fees if you're good. And how we monetize that on the back end is another.
It's not really an investment. You're buying a product off the shelf of us, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. But the difference is, right, if you go the traditional route and you save up 10,000 quid and you put it in an account, and you have a bad day and you lose $2,000, and then you're frustrated, you lose all of a sudden you've lost your, maybe it's taken you 2 years to save up 10,000. Poof, like that.
Yes.
You can blow it. You can get margin called. Yeah. So the difference with what we offer, it's not only is it a lower cost to get into the market, but it's safer. You can't blow your life savings. You can't get margin called, go into debt. Have to call up your mum and dad to bail you out, however people do it.
That's what you used to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I still do.
Yeah, he still does it.
my first ever encounter.
One thing we've done really well since the start of time, from our first event we did for traders, which was at
restaurant.
Hours Restaurant.
Hours in Mayfair.
Is it Mayfair Hours? No,
it's near there. Somewhere
and then we've done obviously the big event, the Alpha event.
No, we did
last year.
F1 Arcade.
F1 Arcade.
And then we did.
We want to do more events this year. We're going to be. George isn't allowed because he's got 2 kids.
Well,
so
I'll bring the kids, some missus, some grandparents will all come.
But we are going to be. We definitely want to go over to New York in America to meet some Alpha Futures traders. Start of this year, probably end of Q1, start of Q2.
Q2.
Go and ask her now live. Ring on things. So can I go to New York in February? That'll be hilarious. But yeah, so Q2 we'll be heading over to America to do an event with our Alpha Futures trader to bring it there and meet some of the guys over there and hear some of the success stories, so they can meet us as well. And obviously Ben is in San Diego at the moment, but I'm sure you'll meet us on the East Coast.
What would be good then, you mentioned earlier on, obviously we're setting this office up in London now. It's kind of like a separate entity, pathway to live. If we do go in Q2, we will have a good idea by then how well this is going in London, so then we can see, go over to New York and see if we can replicate that in New York.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, so that, but I think now
the next step,
we need to start doing bigger and better events. And I don't necessarily think the bigger and better events is us talking.
Well, I think, I mean, let's see what people want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We'll do another conference maybe like we did before. I think like I had the F1 arcade event.
I love the
fun.
F1. I think
I
we want to
actually
do
really
stuff.
like the restaurant hours night. The first event we ever done was
They
probably one of my
want to do
favourites.
stuff. We want to build a community. You know, you can get all the other stuff free on YouTube. Do you know, people talking to you about stuff. But I think you learn more when you're sitting around a table having a beer or whatever.
Well, you had a good night at the Owls restaurant when we went.
I was
didn't we?
ill. I was ill. I had COVID. I was in bits.
Yeah.
I was ill. I was ill for 4 days after that.
That's what you call it.
But yeah, so I think what I'd like people to do if you're watching this is, if you're in the UK or if you're in America and you want us to do an event, or Europe,
Let us know what you want.
Spain, July, if you want, let us know what you want to do. You know, we want to do some trader competitions. We could rent out somewhere and get everyone trading against each other and get some winners. Let us know. Nothing is too out there if it's a good idea. So please do let us know, because we want to double down on good events this year. Maybe 2 or 3, 2 in the UK, 2 in London, and 1 in the US.
I think definitely.
1 event in the US. Maybe 2 trips to the US this year. Yep. And then hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have a Path to Live in London and a Path to Live in America.
Well, Path to Live will be open to everyone, but office space.
Yeah, office space in London and office space for the Path to Live, and office space in New York.
When we say
as well,
office space, there genuinely is an opportunity for the people that we do identify to come and under the Path to Live, to not just be remote. If you would like a relocation package, it's salaries and in office. There'll be.
Will they have to be
and
on site or not?
They don't have to be.
No,
No,
but the main difference as well is not at the minute with the.
But you probably want them to come over once a quarter to see what the
It's
work is.
advisable.
Yeah.
It's
But
advisable.
at the minute with the retail, with the current props, right? As a trader, I'm not speaking as a company. As a trader, it's me, myself, and I. There's no one. There's not that. There's no performance calls if you drop 2%. Stop trading here. Let's go through this. Or you don't have morning meetings or afternoon meetings every single day.
That
5 days a
whole
week.
environment of bouncing off each other is amazing.
Yeah.
right?
There's. It's not that. If maybe you've got your own community or your own friends and circle.
But
and
again,
you
you
do that.
get
but
a lot
it's-
of yes people in there. You want that to actually mean something.
And this is on the live trading floor. This is what it will be. It will be the live trading environment, the professional way, with the ecosystem and the support system put around everyone. Even if you are remote, you can dial into the calls. There'll be morning meetings, performance meetings, market meetings, analyst meetings every day about key news events.
And you might need to come over once a quarter. If you live somewhere in the world, once a quarter, sit down.
Yeah. And if you want to relocate and move to the office, come in the office.
But again,
open door policy for
imagine
everyone.
that as some people, to get them kind of jobs need to go to Red Brick University.
That's a superb opportunity.
Or be in Eton School
Well,
or private.
if you got whatever the salary is, it's called, say, 25 grand a year salary, plus you've got an allocation to trade. You're risk free. It's none of your capital. Again, you've got a percentage split of the profits. It doesn't get much better than that.
Huge opportunity.
Huge opportunity.
And in my opinion, I'm more excited about this than anything. we've ever
Yeah,
done.
me too.
Because you could have someone managing £1 million worth of capital if they're that good. Do you know what I mean? You could. And if you're doing profit splits there,
But if you find
100 grand's worth
these
of risk.
people, if you find someone that can generate 8 to 10 to 12% a year, even on capital like that, why would we not? What that?
But I think you should emphasise that. It is
Yeah, it
scalable.
is.
That's what it is. You're not cutting yourself off.
It's scalable.
That's
You
what
can
it's
scale
called.
it. You can be managing 2-3 million quid's worth in a couple of years' time.
Because you often see
if you're
people
best,
that you can scale your capital, but it's difficult to do it. This is proper.
But that is your- that is
this is real.
And I think as well, like the scaling plans on the retail, like yes, they're good, but I think the best logical step is, rather than the scaling plans, you hit, it will come out soon, what the milestones will be, and they won't be set in stone, they will be discretionary. So, you might not have hit, 50,000 in profits, you might have hit 10, but there might have been some metrics that we liked and we call you up and invite you over.
That's what you're saying with the 8-month guy. Like,
But the beauty is,
even if he's on a 5K account, he's shown 8 months of
yeah, of
consistency,
course.
discipline.
Yeah.
That is a
And that's the
massive
beauty. It
attribute. You
doesn't
don't have to
matter.
make 100 grand.
but it doesn't matter on your
in a
back.
month.
It doesn't matter on your background.
No.
You can be anyone. You can be
Well, that's- but
anyone,
that's the
anywhere in the
benefit of our
world
products.
where you would not get a single chance to go and sit in a prop firm in London unless went to a top private school, unless you went to a Red Brick University. You're never getting that chance. We're going to bring that to the masses, which is, if you want it, you can have it. And that you can change everyone's life, generational life, if you're good at that.
And off the
you know
back
what I mean?
of
You can
that,
change generations'
I
life.
really do want to reiterate as well, the people that are in assessments with us, And even, you know, with competitors as well, but take it seriously. Take it. The opportunity that you have at your hands and at your fingertips is massive if you take it seriously.
And speaking of seriously, this was the song that someone put. You got to listen to this.
That's why he's been on his phone.
This is brilliant. So yesterday we do have a little bit of fun in our 100,000 strong discount.
So just explain
Discord.
where this comes
So there was a little competition that went on here. We'd like doing little competitions for, you know, to give a bit of humour to the game. We've got to have a bit of humour, yeah. We've got to have a bit of humour, a bit of crudeness, you know about that. So we had.
I wondered where we were going.
I bet he looked directly at you for that, Charlie.
Billy did a rap competition yesterday, but anyway, there was some really good people, but this one was sent to me personally, and I thought it was fantastic. So, any Simon Cowell record labels out there, just going to give you a little spin. Have a little listen. Drew, you're going to love this one.
Hold it to your mic.
No, mate, it's fine.
But no one's going to be able to see it.
Let's have a listen. There's the jazz. Remember what I said about the classical? Then there's the punch in the face. Listen, mate, yeah. Listen, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that.
I think it's fantastic.
I don't want to knock the guy, do you know what I mean? He's obviously put some effort into it.
I mean, if that's not
talent.
AI,
Ain't going to be on my playlist.
Drew, take this seriously though, because
that's a
His
genuine
name's
person.
MC.
What?
MC Paul.
MC Paul.
one of the-
You might have done that.
Yeah.
one of the places I used to work for, the head man employed a guy to look at his peripheral assets, and one of them was trying to find talent.
What,
And
in
they had,
rapping?
They had a thing up in North London, and these guys turned up, and this guy, everyone was raving about this scraggy ginger-haired bloke, really scruffy clothes, did a bit of rapping like that.
Oh, but it sounds like me.
And the,
I know what you're going to say.
and the
Go on.
city punter goes, "No, they fucking look at the state of him. No one's going to take him seriously." That was Ed Sheeran.
Yeah,
They had the in to launch him and turned it down. So you never know. Just
Alpha Capital Records. Coming to a store near you.
That means one day he can actually be Ant or Deck.
Hands on deck, do you mean, yeah?
hands on deck.
All hands on deck. Anyway, listen,
Yeah.
here's the 2025. Let's have a good one.
cheers.
Oh,
Yeah.
see?
Empty cup. It's a bit unlucky.
Beautiful. We're tipping.